Naik came to my center because he wanted to see my reaction. Monday morning he comes with his entourage just to try to rub it in. Long ago he came up with a video. Why won't he debate David Wynn and Sam Shamoun? Zakir Naik decided I have to take this author down to destroy his credibility. And humiliated Campbell to the point that you can look at Campbell's face in debate. He looks horrified. In 2001, Zakir Naik is not as smart as people thought he was.
Dr. William Campbell, Dr. Zakir Naik, Dr. Mazakas, Dr. Jamal Badawi, Dr. Samuel Nauman, and Mr. Sam Shamoun.
Is there. So Dr. William Campbell chose to say days a long period, and out of 6, he solved 2 scientific errors. The remaining 4 of the creation of the universe, he does agree to.
And one of the best debaters in the world, was Sheikh Ahmad Deedat. But then we realized that there were people who started challenging me. And one such person was from USA again. I'll tell you his name. Sam Shamoun. Sam Shamoun. And when I went to Chicago, I met him. He said, "Oh, I want to debate with you." I said, "Send your guru." And then I had a debate with his guru, Dr. William Campbell. And when I accepted this debate, I was called by the students of USA that Dr. William Campbell wrote a book, Quran and Bible in the Light of Science. And he took out about 30 scientific errors in the Quran. And for 8 years, no Muslim replied. So this book was doing a great damage for the dawah of the Muslims. And no one replied, so I took up the challenge. I read the book and I went and I debated with it. And alhamdulillah, in Chicago, there were 2 groups among the Muslims. One group was against the debate. What is this? No one replied. And now the Zakir, who is this young man coming from India, how will he reply? So half the Muslims were against the debate and half the Muslims were for. Alhamdulillah, the debate took place in Chicago and Allah's help was there. Allah's mercy was there, and it was a very successful debate. So much so that after that, alhamdulillah, William Campbell, who got a doctorate in writing a book against Islam, mashallah, it lost its popularity. Later on, then I made a policy that after my videos started becoming popular, then I had a rule. I will only debate with those people who are popular. Then we realized that those people who are not popular started challenging to become popular. And I'll give you a very good example. Sheikh Ahmad Deedat, he debated with Jimmy Swaggart. And Jimmy Swaggart that time was one of the most popular televangelists. He was multiple times more popular than Sheikh Ahmad Deedat. Many people told him, don't go, he will chew you and spit you. But alhamdulillah, Sheikh Ahmad Deedat had the help of Allah and he gave a knockout to Jimmy Swaggart. We have another example, he debated with Anis Furosh. Anis Furosh wasn't known at all. But when Anis Furosh debated with Sheikh Ahmad Deedat, alhamdulillah, won him lock, stock and barrel, but Anis Furosh became popular. So what we realize that when you debate with someone who's popular and an unpopular person debates with a popular person, the unpopular person becomes famous overnight. So why should we make the unpopular Christian missionaries as popular? So then I had a policy that anyone who wants to debate with me should minimum have at least 2% of the audience that I have in my largest gathering. And earlier I said that anyone who can gather 10,000 people, individuals for a lecture, I will debate.
All right, so tell us, Sam, how did Zakir Naik scare you away?
Yeah, well, Saf probably would like to hear this story. And Chris Claus is right. We all began in Pal Talk. Pal Talk, quickly, I think it was 1999 or 2000. I don't remember when I started doing full-time ministry. Pal Talk was the place to be. There are a lot of giants of the faith there. And by the way, for the record, this clip that a brother put up where David Wood said, the GOAT, honestly, I don't believe that. So just, I don't want you to think I believe that my own hype, because there are people on Pal Talk that were phenomenal. Christian Prince began in Pal Talk. There were other brothers and sisters. And I think Chris is going to remember one brother in particular. I think his name was Seeker Truth, and he passed away. He went to
yes.
do.
Yes.
You remember him, right?
Yep.
And Millie Fiore, you remember her?
Yeah. Yep, for
She
sure. I
went to
remember
be-
her too.
Yeah, she went to be with the Lord. And there was a sister on Pal Talk who was dying of cancer. And I was asked to do a message, which I uploaded on YouTube, to comfort her about what will happen when she dies according to Scripture. Her name was Josie. And as I did the session, she passed away. So we had a lot of great people who loved the Lord that passed away into glory. And our hope is we'll see them again. So I just wanted to mention, Pal Talk was the place to be. But anyway, it is what it is. Not to bore you too much, because I know you guys want to get schooled by Muslims, and I'll be watching in the background with my upload and Bipsy. I met Zakir Naik in Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois. And Saf can confirm this. Any of you can go on Google, confirm this. There's a Muslim community center in Chicago. It's on Elston, MCC. It had a dawah outreach run by a man named Amir Ali, who would produce brochures. And he was working with Sabir Ahmed. You guys should know Sabir Ahmed, right?
Sabir Ahmed. He's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, see, he said he's huge. Now,
big.
for those of you who don't know, Sabir Ahmed, very active in the Dawah scene in Illinois. He was part of Why Islam. You know that, you've seen those billboards? It says Jesus is a Muslim. Call
Yeah.
1-800-WHY-ISLAM.
Yeah.
He's part of that. He works with the Dean Show, Eddie of the Dean Show. You guys know the Dean Show too, right?
Yep.
And Christian Prince did some shows exposing him. And actually, he was the moderator of the first public debate I did, which was with Sabir Ali. He's the moderator. He's there. You'll see him. That was my first public debate. So Sabir Ahmed was a huge Zakir Naik fan. So they brought him from India to first lecture in MCC. During this time, I was part of a Christian organization called South Asian Friendship Center. It was an outreach to Muslims and Hindus in the Rogers Park area. So I'm giving you the details. South Asian Friendship Center is no longer there, unfortunately. But it was located in the heart of the Indo-Pakistani community. It's on Devon Street. If you ever go to Chicago, and you guys know, go to Devon. It is like you're in Indian Pakistan. It's all South Asianers, and what a great opportunity to preach the gospel, because it's full of Muslims and Hindus. They own the area. All the stores are by Hindus and Muslims. Several blocks like to the west of it, all Orthodox Jews. It is a hotbed of just evangelism. If you ever go to Chicago, go to Rogers Park, Devon Street. Anyway, so our center was there. And so the Muslims knew about our center, and they knew about me. They kept me in the back, like one of these bears. They kept me in the back, but I'd be in my room. I had an office on a computer, and all I do was write and research. Because remember, in the 1999, 2000, there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't Discord or Clubhouse. It was just writing responses, one website against another. Yeah. That's how you would refute people. So that's how we would refute. So I'd read the latest article by Answering Christianity, and I'd respond. So I was kept in the back. I was their apologist. When they needed to bring someone out to refute the Muslim da'is that would come, I'd come out. Well, Sabir Ahmed knew about it. So one day he arranged a talk with me and Zakir Naik in the Skokie Public Library. So I'm giving you the details so you guys don't think I'm lying, because maybe they'll deny it. I don't know. I've never asked Sabir Ahmed, do you remember? And are you honest? Will you be honest enough to acknowledge it? I don't know. So in the Skokie Public Library, now remember, I'm not that well known. Answering Islam's not that well known. David Wood hasn't shown up on the scene. Nobody knows who Christian Prince is because it's on Pal Talk. So we weren't known, right? So we went to Skokie Public Library in a small room. When you go to the library, you can ask them to give you a small room. Now, because I was stupid and green and naive, I didn't bring my own friends, and I didn't have something to record the conversation. That's how stupid I was. Because remember, we all think that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Now, with the exception of Saf, I have learned everyone is guilty except proven innocent, especially if they're Muslims. I don't trust anyone until they give me enough reason to trust them. But I learned that the hard way. So I went there, and Sabir is recording on a little tape recorder. It's about the deity of Christ. And I'm not boasting. I annihilated Zakir Naik on the deity of Christ. He got annihilated. And you know what passage I used to annihilate him?
What?
It didn't even last more than 10 minutes of conversation. He started discombobulating. Surah 57, verse 3, Surah Al-Hadid, where it says,
Yeah.
in the last.
Yeah.
And then I went to Revelation 1:17, 18, but then he started, with his very thick accent, and he's got a lisp.
Yeah.
The guy, pay attention, he's got a lisp. I got a lisp, but it's mild in comparison to him. And the late Nabil Qureshi, our brother in the Lord, he had a lisp. If you watch him, you'll see he's got a lisp. So, and he goes, well, the first and the last, he started, whatever. It was obvious. The conversation wasn't going anywhere, and he couldn't refute it. So we left, and I asked for a recording, and they dragged and dragged and dragged. And finally, when they sent me a recording, it was so bad, the sound quality, it was garbage. So I learned the lesson. What a golden opportunity. If I had recorded and I had saved it somewhere, that would have been a witness from around 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
Zakir Naik is not as smart as people thought he was. But then it gets worse. He then had one of the biggest debates in Niles High School in Niles, Illinois. It's online, YouTube. You'll see me on stage, by the way. You'll see me on stage. It's the debate between Dr. William Campbell and Zakir Naik.
William Campbell got smashed.
Yeah, you saw that debate, right?
William Campbell got smashed. Yeah.
See? Yeah, I know what you were going to say. It was on the Quran, the Bible, and science, because Campbell had written one of the most influential books in Christian apologetics. If you younglings haven't read it, you got to read it. It's online at answeringislam.info. If you go to individual authors, we have the books. He's since passed away. He went to be with the Lord. But he wrote this book, the Quran and the Bible, in light of history and science. Why? Now, staff may know this, or maybe he's too young. Sorry to drag, but I want to give you the history. This is your history, because you guys are building on this, as I'm building on the generations before me. In 1975, a man named Maurice Bouquet, who claimed to be a French-Canadian Catholic, he was the physician for the king of Saudi Arabia, King Faisal. So he wrote a book, which was a book that Muslims would praise and hail and shove it down Christians' throats. The Bible, Quran, and Science. You can find it online. See, he's laughing. See, he knows it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
See? So you're going down memory lane with me, huh, Saf?
I know, yeah. I know it.
So this book, supposedly from an impartial Catholic, claims the Bible's full of scientific mistakes, but the Quran has no scientific mistakes. In fact, the Quran is a miracle in that it foretells scientific facts only recently discovered through the telescope. See, he's laughing again. What's up, Sam? Glad I can make you happy, my brother in humanity.
No, I'm coughing.
Okay, so that book, William Campbell was a missionary and a medical doctor. He decided, I'm going to have to refute this book. So he wrote a response. The Quran and the Bible, light of history and science. I'm telling you, that book is revolutionary. It is so brilliantly written and so amazing of a rebuttal that Zakir Naik decided I have to take this author down to destroy his credibility. That's the impact that William Campbell's book made, because it was such a thorough refutation of Bouquet and showing his inconsistencies and showing the Quran is not the miracle that Muslims think it is, and that these so-called errors in the Bible are not real errors, but he did it in such a gentle manner. Now, when Campbell debated Naik, Campbell was in his 70s. He's not a very powerful speaker. He's very slow. Some people are better writers than speakers. Some are better speakers than writers. Some God is gifted in both. And as God is my witness, before he debated Naik, my friend who was a Muslim Palestinian named Wadid, I said Naik is going to crush Campbell. The Lord is my witness if I'm lying. I said that. He goes, why? Because I go, Campbell's not a debater. He's not a good speaker. He's not fast on his feet. He'll be overwhelmed by Naik's rhetoric. I said that. Come debate Naik. Naik speaking at about 150 miles per hour, throwing stuff at him, which if you don't go back and fact check, which I did. See, now Naik didn't know that I was going to go back and fact check them. And we have a section on answeringislam.info showing all the lies, errors, misinformation, and deceit that this man spewed. But just like a politician who can dazzle the audience with rhetoric, He dazzled the audience, which was 99% Muslim, and humiliated Campbell to the point that you can look at Campbell's face in debate. He looks horrified. You'll see his face. He looks horrified. He's like, what the hell did I get myself into? And even in the rebuttal period, he says, I couldn't hear him too well and pretty much ignored his objections because he didn't know how to handle them. He got annihilated, got destroyed. And you'll see me in the middle of the debate. I left. I actually left the debate. So what's the point? Naik came to my center because he wanted to see my reaction. He didn't know that after the debate, I went to my room and I started writing my rebuttals. So that Sunday morning he comes with his entourage just to try to rub it in. And I said, here's the first part of my response to your lies. In front of his entourage, I go, anytime you're ready, I'll take you live and I will obliterate you and destroy your fake religion. And then he says, and he's confirmed it, by the way, so you don't think I'm lying. Just not too long ago, he came up with a video. Why won't he debate David Wood and Sam Shamoun?
Mm-hmm.
You know what he said to me in front of me? And we have actually an email exchange from his organization. He said, unless you get 1 million people to attend one of your lectures, I won't debate you and consider you and share a platform with you. Why? Because in India, in one of his talks, he got 1 million people. So that was his condition. So that's the story.
Of course. And that's what's amazing about it is this dude is supposed to be the guy since Ahmad Deedat died off. Zakir Naik is supposed to be the guy, untouchable, destroys every question that comes up, you know, when he's doing his little speeches and stuff like that, where he allows them one question, they can't even respond to anything. This is supposed to be the guy. And his excuse for not talking with Sam Shamoun publicly, or David Wood, or anybody really, is you got to bring 1 million people.
Yeah, so, and I even uploaded part of the email on the answeringislam.info. If you go, here it is. I'll read it for you guys. We have a rebuttal section. There, you'll see one section is devoted to Zakir Naik. And so Jochen Katz, who started the website, sorry about that, let me get it there. Because he kept getting emails, when are you guys going to debate Zakir Naik? When are you going to debate Zakir Naik? When are you going to debate Zakir Naik? So I sent him the email, and here it is. He posted right there. I'll show it to you. I'll get you the link right here. You'll see it. Here goes. Let me get you the link. Sorry, guys. It's like 5,000 in private chat. And you'll see near the bottom of it, this is what it says. I'm going to read it. Just like Ali Sinna, we regularly receive challenges from Muslims that we should debate with Zakir Naik. We are ready. We have said so to Zakir Naik and his team. It is Zakir Naik who refuses to face our debate representative, Sam Shamoun. See? It's right there.
Yeah.
So that's the record. Go ahead, brother. I don't want to.
No, that's it's how it is, man.
Yep.
It's how it is.
These are the facts about Naik. Now, I have to give credit where credit is due. The one Muslim who has debated nearly everyone, and in fact, the first public debate was with him as well. He debated me one time, but refused to debate me again. So he won't debate Christian Prince. He's on record for that as well. But the one guy that has tried to debate a wide spectrum of Christians is Jibrali. At least he tries to put his money where his mouth is. He's taken on all the big names in apologetics. My first public debate was with him, but since then he's refused to debate. Christian Prince, he won't debate. So, but at least to his credit, he's got a resume. So there you go.